You know what I
So
like about what you're doing, Nick, is you're making it simpler. Because one of the big challenges is just knowing how much money you're making on Amazon. Amazon does not make it particularly transparent. One of the
yeah,
things that you can do is you can look at your monthly PDF one sheet statement from Amazon, and they have buckets there. And one of the real challenges with trying to use that information in your retrospective P&L is that some of the things that Amazon says group buckets that are too big, right? So for example, FBA fees and inventory shipments are all kind of lumped together. But if you, for example, needed to have a big removal order, that will be lumped in with your regular fees, and it doesn't split it out. But it's really important to know that you just didn't have a bad margin month. There was a hiccup in your supply chain. So I really like how you've made this complicated business simple, right? Look at these three things. They each mean something. And that helps people keep on top of the margin. I mean, what we do mostly for our clients is we almost, run defense against Amazon for them, right? We got to grow their sales, make sure they're making money. And making it easy for them to make decisions is part of what we do. And what you've just told me is a great way to help people get their head around all the complexity we're talking about.
I like the number 3 because 3 is easy to remember, 2 is too few to take seriously, 1 is never enough, and 4 is too many to be able to remember afterwards.
Yeah.
So 3.
Yeah.
So I give you another one that I do, 3. So when I'm integrating all the Amazon financial data into my accounting, I have 3 GL codes.
Okay.
General chart in my chart of accounts, 3 GL codes for Amazon. Very simple. Item-based FBA fees.
Okay.
Amazon storage.
Yeah.
Everything else.
Okay. Yeah.
Amazon commission 15%. That's a 4th one, but that doesn't count. That's separate. So because that's always the same, 15% no matter what, unless it's like one of those other categories. So
right.
I am, and I'm, because if you, in my unit economics model, I also have the same approach with 3 tiers. Yeah. Amazon, first of all, first bucket, cost of goods sold, that's your landed cost. Second one is Amazon commission. Third one is
everything
fulfillment.
else.
Fulfillment fees.
Oh, okay.
Fulfillment
Got
fees. So I have a very strict approach to planning the model and then tracking it against my P&L. P&L has to be set up exactly in the same structure. Now, what I tell my clients is this. Look, cost of goods sold, Amazon commission, and fulfillment. Take those out. You've got to have 50% net left. Now, if you do that, this is what you're shooting for. You're going to spend, in the short term, doesn't matter with advertising because you're going to have to do whatever it takes. But in the long term, you want about no more than 15% take costs. Okay? Take that away from the 50, you're left with 35.
Yeah.
You're going to spend about 5% of the top on everything else that I mentioned.
Yeah.
FBA. That leaves you with 30%. And then let's say you allow some percentage depending on the category for returns.
Yep.
Now that means in this model, say 10%, that leaves you with 20% net after everything. That's a healthy model. So that's why in the fee analysis, I go item-based FBA, storage, because storage is a big driver, and everything else.
Yep.
And on the overall unit, cost of goods sold, Amazon commission, and item-based FBA fees.
Yeah.
So
no, I like it.
So with those, you can have a pretty good handle on things.
Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, and that also brings up the storage fees are really important. One of the things that we also do with our long-term clients as they develop a steady cadence where they're shipping enough to Amazon, the orders are big and they're coming frequently, is how frequently do you ship in Amazon? We really don't really want you to ship more than like every other week. because once you start shipping every other week, small hiccups in your process, can all of a sudden push 1 week shipment out to the next, and there's a bit of a domino effect. And we find that with smart planning and including the desired buffer of time, basically the time that you want it to sit in Amazon, while you have a buffer for variability in customer sales, and inventory projections, which we do for our clients that are SKU based, that's kind of an optimal place to go, where you're managing, again, these intangibles. This is kind of the art of Amazon. Like ideally you want them to spend no time in storage, but the reality is, you've been in transportation, right? Things happen, and you have to build realistic models, but there are ways and goals that we can, kind of optimize that. But kind of every other week is kind of what we really target, not any faster than that.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Another thing, that when you're shipping every other week, instead of sending one big humongous shipment, send multiple small ones, right? So because something happens to that one big shipment, everything else will get held up.
Oh, we've done all kinds of things with shipping. Yeah. Especially, the pandemic was an interesting challenge, around shipping, for all sorts of reasons. Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, this is a great conversation. We can never cover enough, but unfortunately, time only allows so much.